Woo! What's going on, guys? Orange Form coming at you guys today with another video. And today I got a late video coming. Sorry, guys, about this, but I got the preview of the Detroit Lions going to the Cleveland Browns for a matchup. The 0-8-1 Detroit Lions versus the 5-5 Cleveland Browns. Now, the injury report really quick. Lions, Trey Flowers got a knee. He is out. Running back Jamar Jefferson, the rookie out of Oregon State, with a knee and an ankle. He's out as well. Offensive tackle Melt Nelson with an ankle injury. He is out. Quarterback Jared Goff with an oblique. He's doubtful. Doesn't look like he's going. I think it will be Tim Boyle for sure. Wide receiver Trinity Benson has a knee, questionable. Offensive tackle Taylor Decker has an elbow, questionable. They also signed Dan Skipper too, who was on waivers, and Matt Nelson being out. Decker banged up. I think Decker's going though, but he's hurt. So they signed Dan Skipper. He used to play for Detroit for the last few years anyways, and they released him, signed him back. Running back Jamal Williams looks like he's back with a thigh, but he's questionable still. Safety Tracy Walker with a concussion. Laid a big hit last week, questionable. Running back DeAndre Swift with a shoulder, no injury designation, so he's good to go, but he was still on the report. Outside linebacker Austin Bryant with a shoulder, good to go as well. Cornerback Mark Gilbert had an illness, but he's good to go. And then cornerback Jerry Jacobs with a groin, good to go, no injury designation there. Now on to the Browns. Cornerback AJ Green with a concussion, out. Cornerback Troy Hill with a neck, out. Wide receiver Anthony Schwartz has a concussion. He is out as well. Defensive end Tarek McKinley has a groin. He's questionable as well. Wide receiver Donovan Peoples-Jones, the Michigan Wolverine guy, that played for the Wolverines, has a groin issue, questionable as well. Nick Chubb, but he's back from COVID as well, so he'll be good to go. Now on to the quarterbacks, guys. We'll start with the away team because we are the away team. Tim Boyle, David Blau. Don't think they signed anybody to back up those two. It's just Boyle and Blau. I think Jared Goff is doubtful. I don't think he'll be going. Versus their guys, Baker Mayfield and Case Keenum. They also got Nick Mullins on there too, but he went back to the practice squad. This is just a little bit of a carnival of quarterbacks right here. Tim Boyle, who's thrown literally like 4 or 5 passes, I think, in the NFL. David Blau was just horrendous back in 2019 for us. And then Jared Goff just been terrible the last few years and absolutely horrific for the Lions this year. Versus their guy, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's having a terrible year this year. He's thrown about maybe 8 touchdowns. Not having a good year at all. He's bagged up. He's hurt. At this point, it's almost they should go with Case Keenum. He's no better, but he's healthy. But Baker is getting the nod. And to be honest with you, if this is the Baker Mayfield versus Tim Boyle, I just have to give the check mark to the Cleveland Browns here. Just a bad room on both sides. The running backs will start with the Lions. DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams is back. Godwin Igwebuike, and Jason Gabinda, the fullback. Versus their guys, Nick Chubb just coming back after missing a few games, of course. Coming back to play the Lions. The Get Right Lions, that's what they're called for other teams. Versus, they also got Dearness Johnson, who had a good game a couple weeks ago with his first NFL start. And then Dimitri Felton, more of a receiving type of running back right there. Check mark goes to the Cleveland Browns and Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb being back, he's just a stud. He's going to be a force. He's a kid that you really have to keep an eye on, obviously. So it's going to be a tough matchup for the Detroit Lions in that one. So check mark to the Browns in the wide receiver room. In the running back room, sorry. And now wide receivers, Lions, Khalif Raymond, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Trinity Benson, who's a little bit banged up as well, Daryl Hodge, and Josh Reynolds making his Detroit Lions debut. And Tom Kennedy, who got elevated from the practice squad because they released Geronimo Allison, then re-signed him back to the practice squad, back and forth with Geronimo, it seems like. But he did get up to I think he's elevated to the practice squad for this game, I believe. And Benson being a little bit banged up, so they wanted to they wanted to get another wide receiver up there. Versus their guys, not the greatest wide receiver room. They did release OBJ upon request by him, and he signed with the Rams. They have a lot of injuries going on as well, too. But they got Jarvis Landry over there, Rashard Higgins, who's had some decent games in the past. Landry's a good possession wide receiver. Gets over, he has really good hands. He can actually throw the football, too. So look out for him doing that. And then Jamarcus Bradley, and then Lawrence Cager, and then Donovan Peoples-Jones if he plays. It looks like he's going, but that's their room right there. It's not a great room on both sides again. I think Jarvis Landry has some skill. Obviously, I do like Rashard Higgins a little bit too. You know, he could be a good number 3 for you. And Donovan Peoples-Jones has some skills too. You know, we got some guys that can play a little bit over there on our side too in the wide receiver room. I like him on St. Brown. I like him on Raw. Khalif Raymond had made a couple splash games, but nothing big. And Josh Reynolds has a little bit of talent to him. So, but I'm going to give the check mark here. I'm going to give it to the Cleveland Browns, not by a lot, but just a little bit here. But they get the check mark. Then on to the tight ends. You guys know who we got: T.J. Hawkinson and Brock Wright. Kabinda in an emergency. Versus their guys: Austin Hooper, David Njoku. 2 guys that got some talent. And then Harrison Bryant, who was supposed to be a little bit, supposed to have a little bit bigger year this year, but really hasn't. But they carry three tight ends. If I'm going to take anybody here in this group, I'm going to take the Browns again. Just the group overall, I think Hawkinson's the most talented out of all the tight ends here. But as a group, you got to go with Hooper and Njoku and Harrison Bryant from the Cleveland Browns. On to the O-line. Our O-line's a little bit makeshift again. We don't know what's really going on. It looks like Decker's going at left tackle. We'll find out by 12 at least. Jonah Jackson at left guard. Evan Brown, the center, the backup to Ragnow. Big V, Halabuti Vaitai will be the right guard. And then Sewell might be right tackle. Now with Nelson out, they signed Dan Skipper. If Decker doesn't play, I'm kind of expecting Sewell to go back to left tackle. And then Dan Skipper to right tackle. God help us. Versus their guys, and they have a really good O-line. They run block really, really well, and they just have a really good O-line. It's a solid O-line. Jedrick Willis at left tackle, Joel Batoni at left guard, J.C. Treader at center, good center, Wyatt Teller at right guard, and then Blake Hance rounding it off at the right tackle spot. The check mark goes to the Cleveland Browns here. They just have a really solid O-line. They just do everything really good, especially run block. They run block exceptionally well. So the check mark goes to the Browns here. Now on to the defense. D-line edge for Detroit Lions: Charles Harris, Julian Okwara, Deshaun Hand, Austin Bryant, Michael Brockers, Nick Williams, Jason Lemonnier. I don't know if he'll be dressed. We'll find out. John Penasini and Levi Onwuzurike versus their guys, and they got a monster over there, and Myles Garrett, probably the best defensive end in the game today, in my opinion. Just an animal. Jadeveon Clowney, you know, still has a little bit of giddy up to the quarterback. That's a little bit overrated, I think, but he's still the guy you have to really know where he is. And then Malik McDowell, then DeCaris McKinley, Malik Jackson, Jordan Elliott, Ifeatu Odenigbo, Tommy Togiai, Joe Jackson, and then Sheldon Day. The check mark goes off, obviously, to the Cleveland Browns here and Myles Garrett. They tend to make a few more plays. Myles Garrett just being an animal alone just should get the check mark alone. So Cleveland Browns get the check mark here. Then the linebacker, the Detroit Lions got Alex Anzalone, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, Derek Barnes, a rookie out of Purdue, Anthony Pittman, and then Josh Woods. Versus their guys, Anthony Walker. Look out for Anthony Walker. Came on a little bit late. I think it was due to injuries. I think he missed the first month or so of football. But he's all over the place making plays. He's a tackle machine. He's a good linebacker, so look out for him. Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa, better known as JOK. Nice rookie out of Notre Dame. Good cover linebacker, speedster. Just flies all over the field. He's a good linebacker too as well. Then we got Sion Takitaki, Malcolm Smith, Mac Wilson, Tony Fields, and then Elijah Lee. The check mark here is going to the Cleveland Browns again. I really like Anthony Walker and JOK, two really good linebackers. On to the DBs, we got Tracy Walker, Jerry Jacobs, Amani Oruwariye, AJ Parker, Will Harris, Dean Marlowe, safeties, CJ Moore, another safety, special teamer, Bobby Price, and then Mark Gilbert. Maybe Melifonwu makes an appearance this week. He just got off the IR a couple weeks ago. Still got a 21-day window to evaluate him to see what he did. I don't think he played last week. I don't think he was dressed, but maybe he dresses this week. Maybe he's back. We'll see. Versus their guys, John Johnson III, Ronnie Harrison Jr., Denzel Ward, pretty good cover corner, Greg Newsom II, MJ Stewart, Greedy Williams, Grant Delpit, pretty good safety out of LSU, Richard LeCounte the third, then Javante Moffitt. I'm going to give it, their DBs are pretty good all around. They have some good safety help. They got some good quarterback help. Pretty good defense all around. Not the greatest defense, not as good as you would think they would be, because they have some names out there. Myles Garrett is the bread and butter of that defense, obviously, but their cornerback, their DB room is nice. So the check mark goes to the Cleveland Browns. So it's a clean sweep, I think, by the Browns. Clean sweep by the Browns. I don't think the Lions got any check marks on this one from me. Even though the Browns have struggled this year, we obviously have struggled more. Our record obviously shows. Their record shows too. They're 5-5. Not as good as they were probably supposed to be this year. The Cleveland Browns, disappointing some fans and and some media getting on them. Don't really know what's going on with Baker here. He's just so banged up. But this is a team that obviously relies heavily on their pass. Heavily on their run game. Passes are secondary kind of offensive move there. Nick Chubb back, so he's going to be frothing at the mouth, and it just always seems to be when the Detroit Lions are playing somebody, and the opponent we play, we're always the get right team, like I said earlier. Like Baker struggled, Nick Chubb has missed a couple weeks. Now Nick Chubb's back. What's the remedy for getting back on track? Playing the Detroit Lions. Unfortunately, that's what it is. So I'm not saying that Baker's going to come out here and light the sky up. And I think Nick Chubb's going to have a really good game, though. I think he's going to go over 100 yards and a touchdown or two, 100%. I would bet on it. But it's just we're always the get right team. Like, who are you guys playing next? You guys are struggling. Oh, the Lions. Oh, there you go. You guys are going to get back on track. You're going to get right. It just seems like that every time, man. And this is a perfect game for the Browns at home. You got the Lions coming into town who's struggling. We're the get-right team. So what we're going to have to do to even have a chance at this, we got Tim Boyle out here. So we got a D-line over there. That's D-line and linebackers over there that are probably just licking their chops. Even the secondary. Because I don't expect Tim Boyle to do a thing against this team. Not against Myles Garrett and company. Not against Myles Garrett and that good secondary. And that good D-line. They're just a pretty good defense. I think they're a little bit underrated. Their defense, they haven't played the best football, to tell you the truth. But they do still have a pretty good defense. And we got a guy that's going in there that hasn't done anything. That hasn't done a thing. And I'll be doing a video on that too. I hope the best for Tim Boyle. I hope he comes out and plays well. I just don't see it. Not with this, not with this unit, not with all these weapons that he has. This lack of weapons. It's just this is gonna be a gong show, I think. I think it's gonna be a gong show. I hope I'm wrong. I just don't see anything good coming out of this. Now, this is not what we expected, but this is just what they kind of had to do with Jared Goff being banged up with that oblique injury. So let's see what he can do. But we're going to have to try to stop Nick Chubb, I think, the most in this game. Nick Chubb, we're going to have to try to stop. I think we're going to run the football a ton. I really don't think they want Tim Boyle dropping back in coverage all day. I don't think that's wise to drop back in coverage all day. Is Dan Campbell going to do what he did last week? Just run the football constantly? It worked. It actually worked. Made a game out of it. They actually made a game out of it. Probably should have won against the Steelers. But we'll see. As long as the defense kind of holds up, you know, bend but don't break. Wishful thinking a little bit. They don't have the greatest wide receivers, but they have a couple guys that can make some plays. Like Landry's made plays in the past. Donovan Peoples-Jones is kind of coming on a little bit. Rashard Higgins has done some things, but it's not the greatest room, but their O-line is legit. Their O-line's legit, so it's going to be tough. They're going to have to come up with some blitzes, some packages to get to Baker Mayfield, to disrupt them. So let's see what Aaron Glenn has in store. Now, for the score prediction, I kind of have a little bit different than I picked on the podcast the other night. I'm going to say 27-20 Cleveland Browns. We kind of stay in this game a little bit. I'm just a little bit worried about what Tim Boyle's going to do. It can't be any worse than what Jared Goff has done. If it is, my goodness. But I got him going 27-20 Cleveland Browns here. You know, Chubb gets in the end zone a couple times. Baker might throw a couple touchdowns. We'll see. But they make it a little bit close, Detroit Lions, but they take another L. I think it's going to be a competitive game, though. I'm just hoping. I'm just really hoping. They got some playmakers over there in Cleveland, so we'll see. But that's the video, guys. 27-20 Cleveland Browns. Hopefully it's a little bit different outcome, but that's it right now. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bottom right. Don't forget to hit my notification bell. Get all the videos. Don't forget to like and comment. Sorry about the late video, guys. Just some stuff came up. Thanks, guys. Boom. Go Lions.